and we mobilize Hoosiers to take action at the ballot box and right here during the legislative session. So, for Indiana and other MAGA-controlled states, the unpopular agenda in Project 2025 is all too familiar. Actually, in Indiana, we could call it Project 2010, because that's really when the steps to enact this extremist agenda were set in motion. I mean, how do you even begin to enact such an unpopular agenda? You start by rigging the system so people can't stop you. That's what happened in 2010 when Republicans launched what they called Project Red Map, with the goal of taking over state houses across the country in order to control redistricting. In Indiana, Republicans built their own supermajority in the state legislature, and we are now one of the most gerrymandered states in the country. So, how have Indiana Republicans used their control to implement the Project 2025 agenda already? Well, let's go through it. Project 2025 calls for taking away our reproductive rights, including a national abortion ban. Indiana was one of the first states to enact a total abortion ban after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade in 2022. Project 2025 wants to end public education as we know it by diverting public money to private and religious schools. Well, Indiana launched our first voucher program in 2011, and we are now diverting billions of taxpayer dollars to the wealthiest Hoosiers to pay for their religious private schools. Project 2025 persecutes LGBTQ+ Americans, demonizing and even criminalizing trans people. Indiana lawmakers banned gender-affirming care for minors last session. They filed bills to ban and criminalize drag shows, to take away legal recognition of transgender and binary Hoosiers. Project 2025 encourages racial discrimination by banning diversity, equity, and inclusion initiatives. Well, not to be outdone, one of Governor Braun's first actions upon taking office was to issue an executive order eliminating diversity, equity, and inclusion in state agencies. Lawmakers have also proposed banning so-called DEI from our schools too, which would silence conversations about women, people of color, and people with disabilities. Project 2025's goal is to reduce immigration and conduct mass deportations. Well, in Indiana, Republican legislators filed at least 15 anti-immigrant bills this session. Thankfully, they've only managed to pass one, HB 1393, which requires county sheriffs to notify U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, about people in their jails who may not be legally in the U.S. Project 2025 wants to insert Christian nationalism ideology into the mainstream. Well, folks, it doesn't get much more mainstream than Indiana electing Micah Beckwith, a self-described Republicans have also authored House Resolution 53, which would affirm that the Indiana House is, quote, united in its steadfast commitment to returning to God and upholding biblical principles. Project 2025's goal is to end programs that address climate change. Indiana keeps rolling back regulations that reduce environmental harm, such as wetland protections. Braun issued executive orders limiting environmental protections and removing environmental justice considerations from the permitting process for polluters. Project 2025 calls for reducing access to health care, including placing limits on Medicaid. Well, another one of Braun's first actions was to issue an executive order to stop advertising Medicaid to eligible Hoosiers. Okay, I want to end with a little more of a positive note. So, some of you may have heard of SB 2. It was a hard-fought bill that would have threatened health care for 750,000 Hoosiers by arbitrarily capping Medicaid enrollment, kicking thousands of Hoosiers off their health plans. But guess what? Advocacy works. This harmful language was stripped out of the final version of the bill thanks to Hoosiers who stood up and fought back. So what can we learn from this win? Like a schoolyard bully, the way to fight authoritarians is to stand up to them. We must hold our elected officials accountable. How? Contact them. They work for us. Tell them what matters to you and what will really make things better in your community. Call them out by name and tell your neighbors about the harm these new laws will cause. Educate your friends and family. Start with threats to our shared values. We have our work cut out for us here in Indiana, but we will take back our state. We start by breaking the supermajority. And there is a role for that in each of us. You can run for office, volunteer or donate to campaigns, talk to your neighbors, register voters, or my favorite, become a precinct chair. Be an influencer for social change. Get engaged. Thank you. So once again, my name's Amy Courtney, and I'm with an organization called MADVoters. The MAD stands for Mutually Assured